this video, we'll take a peek at some inspiring rustic farmhouse-style front pages that are super cool and classic. The design isn't just beautiful, but it also makes the house feel more alive and connected to nature. Perfect for those who love a rustic, warm, and nostalgic vibe. Come on, watch until the end. You might just find the perfect front yard idea for your dream home. Welcome back to the DM8K channel. This one has a really cool and classic vibe. Winding stone paths, white wooden fences that are typical of rural homes, and beautiful roses on the side that make it even more charming. And what makes it even more comfortable is the wooden bench under the flowering tree, as if inviting us to sit back and relax with an afternoon coffee. Simple, but it makes the atmosphere of the house warm and peaceful. This design has a calm and romantic atmosphere. Imagine entering the front yard through an old wooden gate covered with vines, then seeing fields of fragrant purple lavender stretching out to the right and left. The path is made of crunchy gravel underfoot, leading directly to a vintage-style house terrace. The ambience feels like a French countryside, simple yet elegant, and truly soothing to the soul. This design has a warm and classic feel that is immediately apparent from the start. The entrance features beautiful red bricks, adorned with wrought iron lanterns on wooden poles, rustic yet elegant. Surrounding it are blooming hydrangea flowers, and what makes it even cozier is a swing on the terrace complete with checkered patterned cushions. It's the perfect dream home for relaxing afternoons with a cup of coffee. This design really has a strong rural feel to it. The split-rail wooden fence looks old, but is actually quite attractive, and it is surrounded by colorful wildflowers that look very natural. There is a stone path, and in the corner there is an old cart wheel leaning against a tree. It feels like a peaceful and memorable grandmother's house in the village. this courtyard feels like stepping into an old story. The entrance is lined with classic cobblestones, and on either side are tall antique pots planted with herbs. Surrounding it are moss-covered stones, small birds fluttering about, and the lush shade of old trees. Simple, yet full of character, like a courtyard with a long history. This design is the definition of a comfortable farmhouse-style home. The terrace is large and circular, so you can sit anywhere while enjoying the view in front. There are classic rocking chairs, fern hangers on the ceiling, and the atmosphere is very calm. It's perfect for morning coffee or reading a book in the afternoon. A house like this makes you feel so comfortable that you don't want to leave. This one has a unique and nostalgic garden corner. There is an old iron water pump standing in the middle of flowers and tall plants like sunflowers. It feels old-fashioned but warm. Around it, there is a small stone path, and the edges are lined with pieces of wood. A spot like this is perfect for a favorite corner in the yard, especially in the afternoon. This design is perfect for those who love the atmosphere of a small garden in front of their house. There is a neat row of fruit trees, and underneath them are wooden crates filled with freshly harvested apples. The vibe is very natural. In addition, there is an old wooden cart that has been turned into a flower pot, making the atmosphere even more lively and full of authentic rural touches. Upon entering, you are immediately greeted by a simple wooden gate covered in pink climbing roses. So beautiful. The gate looks classic and a bit old, but that's what makes it charming. The gravel path, surrounded by daisies, makes the front yard feel romantic and peaceful. It's like entering a house in a rural movie. This design is perfect for those who love natural vibes, but still want something aesthetic. At the entrance, there is a pergola made of old wood covered in vines. It feels cool and shady. Above it, there are iron lanterns that give off a warm glow at night, and below it, there is a neat little stone path. It feels like you are being welcomed into a quiet and peaceful rural world. This design is truly functional yet beautiful. The path is made of simple but neat gravel, and on the side there are wooden beds filled with vegetables, flowers, and herbs. The yard feels like a small, active garden, but still has a rustic aesthetic. Especially when you add old-fashioned gardening tools, the vibe is spot on. This one has a unique classic touch. On the front yard, there are old farming tools such as an old plow, wooden barrels, and iron carts arranged as decorations, surrounded by wild grass and prairie plants. It feels like a small museum in the yard, perfect for those who love nostalgia and authentic rustic vibes. This design is super cute and full of life. Imagine a front yard filled with colorful wildflowers, buzzing with butterflies flying here and there. In the middle, there's a rustic wooden bench for relaxing, plus a small pond or bird bath to make it even more lively. Perfect for nature lovers who want their front yard to be a place of healing. This design has a classic touch that immediately catches the eye. There is a small vintage-style windmill in the corner of the yard. It is not only decorative, but also a distinctive feature that makes the yard even more iconic. The surroundings are decorated with wild plants and tall grass, plus small wooden or stone signboards to enhance the authentic farmhouse feel. Simple, but full of character. The design is neat, but still has a natural feel. The front garden is framed by curved natural stones, giving it a classic look. In the middle, flowers such as geraniums and marigolds grow, interspersed with tall antique lanterns in several corners. At night, the lights create a warm and cozy atmosphere, perfect for a rustic-style home. This one really has an old-school countryside feel to it. In the front yard, there is an old-fashioned horse tethering post. It's really unique. Then the fence is made of old cartwheels arranged neatly, serving as both decoration and a natural barrier. Combined with the wildflowers surrounding it, the atmosphere is like an old farmyard full of memories. This design has an elegant yet rustic feel. The wooden gate is curved and covered with trailing vines, like a small passageway to a peaceful world. Flowering shrubs grow on either side, and the natural stone path adds to the calm atmosphere. Perfect for a front yard that wants to look simple yet classy. The design is simple but has a natural elegance. The wide stone steps lead directly from the gate to the terrace, not only functional, but also visually appealing. On either side, there are blooming peonies and foxgloves, plus lush greenery. The combination makes the entrance to the house feel like a beautiful and soothing classic garden path. This design is perfect for those who like a natural yet unique look. The front yard is dominated by a large rock garden, artistically arranged with local plants that are resistant to the weather. There are pieces of driftwood as accents, and the path is made of flat stones that flow through the middle of the garden. The overall impression is rustic, calm, and doesn't require much maintenance. This design is spacious and very cool. The front yard is wide open, directly connected to fields or grasslands in the distance, creating a sense of space and freedom. The only barrier is a low split-rail wooden fence, so it remains open but neat. The path is made of natural stone, giving it a natural touch that is perfect for a classic farmhouse-style home. This design has a strong rustic feel. At the entrance to the yard, there is an arbor made of old wood covered with grapevines. It feels cool, shady, and romantic. On the right and left are old wine barrels that have been turned into large pots, making the atmosphere even more authentic and rich in character. Perfect for those of you who like the classic farmhouse vineyard vibe. This corner of the yard is perfect for gardening enthusiasts. There is a rustic wooden potting table, complete with neatly arranged gardening tools. Not only functional, but also decorative. On the old wooden wall, there is a small vertical herb garden that brings the space to life and fills it with fragrance. It's a simple corner, but it feels personal and very warm. The design is simple but has a warm and personal feel. The front gate is decorated with a handmade wooden sign bearing the name of the house or farm. A unique touch that makes the house feel like it has a story to tell. Above it hangs an old bell on a wooden pole, classic like in old country houses. Small details that make the front yard feel lively and rustic. The front veranda is very spacious and immediately gives off a warm impression. The floor is made of old wood that looks natural, decorated with classic items such as old milk cans, watering cans, and old lanterns. In one corner, there is a comfortable seating area, making this spot perfect for relaxing in the afternoon while looking out at the yard. Rustic, homey, and full of character.